now I'm just working my way through my morning routine.
Where you move make me blind. You will always be there. There's no doubt in my mind. You will always be there. Heading out to see ya.
Good morning, it's a Sunday. I just woke up and I thought that today would be a good day to show you how I'm using the ZTD system with my habit planner. So I'm basically going to be walking you through this day in the life of my planner and showing you how it gets used throughout the day. I also wanted to discuss the final ZTD habit with you, habit number 10, and then we can quickly discuss and summarize what we've learned in this video series so far. If you haven't seen the other videos in this series or you just want a refresher, I'm going to leave the playlist to those videos down below in the description for you. But right now I'm just working my way through my morning routine, and this usually ends with reviewing my planner. So I will check back in with you then.
'Cause you will always be there. Oh, oh, 'cause you will always be the one to hold me. You will always be the one who knows me. You will always be, come on, let me closer to your heart. I'm waiting.
For the ZTD system in the morning, you are supposed to review your master to-do list and then write down 1 to 3 MITs to work on for that day. I actually set my MITs on Sunday night during my weekly review, and you'll see how that works later on in this video. But I do review my planner in the morning as part of my morning routine. Because my mom is coming over at 4 p.m. today, I kind of have to modify my Sunday afternoon routine by deleting some things because I'm not going to have time to do it all. And because I did change up the routine, I needed to write down what the changes are somewhere in my planner, and that of course takes space. So while normally I would use a weekly spread to track how my Sunday goes, today I'm using this daily sheet in order to fit all of that information. I'm really going to have to stay focused today so I can get everything done before she gets here. Otherwise, I won't have enough time to prep for my work week and I won't be ready. In the right column on my daily sheet, I've broken up my day into time blocks from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. I want to point out though that I don't follow the time block perfectly down to the second. These are kind of just a guide for myself when things need to be done approximately. For ZTD, you are supposed to get your MITs done as early as possible. So that's why I created a time block at the top here for my MIT 1 and MIT 2 of the day. And I have these written down over in this left column with exactly what I want to do. So my first MIT is to spray paint tabs gold that are going to go on these boxes as part of our hallway remodeling project that we are working on right now. And then MIT 2 is to film the explanation of habit 10 and the ZTD summary, which is going to end up being the second half of this video that you are watching right now. Then I have church from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Right now we are meeting on Zoom, but we're going to start meeting in person for outdoor services starting in July, so I'm excited about that. And then from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. I created this time block for my third MIT, which is to pick out plants at Lowe's for a small backyard landscaping project that my husband and I are working on. Then I have prep work for the week. My mom arrives, some batch tasks, and then my evening routine. And I also want to work on designing a free printable for you guys because it's been a while since I have given out a free printable. So hopefully I'll have enough time for that too. Habit 4 is do. So I'm going to try to eliminate distractions as much as possible by placing my phone in a separate room so I'm not tempted to go on apps like Instagram. And when you are working on tasks, you could also set a timer, or you could simply focus on that task until it is completed, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. So I'm going to get started with these MITs, and then I'll check back in with my planner when we get back from Lowe's. We're going to Lowe's now, so I'm going to place my capture tool, which is from habit number 1, in my purse in case I want to write something down while I'm there. I also wrote the Lowe's shopping list down here.
I bet you think that I should calm down and that I'm over.
Since habit number 6 is organized, I'm going to make sure to put these items away immediately so they don't pile up.
The way we are. But I don't know that much about you. What things you like and what you don't. It's not that long since I met you for the first time. You know we should work it out. You know we should work it out. Before I'm too invested, I should probably ask you all my questions, get to know you better. Like, can you be trusted? Will you take me for granted? And will you let me down? I know I'm feeling something for you.
It's a little bit after 12:30. We just got back from Lowe's, and by the way, we saw a coyote walk by our car as we were about to leave, so that was pretty cool. I had wanted to get back by 12 o'clock today, but because Lowe's didn't have everything that we needed, we had to go to Home Depot. So I'm running about half an hour behind, and I'm going to have to modify and simplify my schedule, which is actually habit number 8, simplify. So I'm going to take a look at my list and decide what has to get done. So I can defer the other loads of laundry to later in the week and just do one load today. And I can delete or cancel the zone cleaning of the craft room because I had already cleaned it previously in the week. I can delegate some of the tasks to my husband, asking him to help out with mopping the kitchen and taking out the trash, writing an A for Andrew. I'm also going to set a timer for dusting just so I don't lose track of time. I also want to mention that I do rely on my timer to keep me on task with laundry. So I set a timer for when the washer is going to be done and a timer for when the dryer is going to be done so that I can automatically move the clothes over or take the clothes out of the dryer when they are ready. All of the paperwork that comes into our house goes into one of 2 physical inboxes. We have one in our command center, which I call the home inbox because my husband uses that too. And then I have one in my craft room / office for my paperwork and things that are specific to me. So when we were at Lowe's today, I saw this ad for the Memorial Day sale, so I decided to grab it and I placed it in the inbox for processing later today. Also, when we got home, I placed the Lowe's receipt into the receipt envelope for May that we keep in our home inbox. So now it's time to start my Sunday afternoon routine, which I have written down here. My Sunday routine is technically what the author of ZTD calls a weekly routine because it's not performed every single day. it may be once a week or a few times a week. He recommends batching similar tasks together to create a theme day. So for example, maybe you want to have an errands day or a desk day or a financial day, a laundry day, etc. So I consider Sundays to be like my reset day, my prep for the work week day. And of course, setting and keeping routines is habit number 9. I'm going to be prepping for the week by doing some laundry, getting my vitamins and lunches ready to go for the week. I have some regular maintenance cleaning to do, like sweeping and dusting. I need to fold the laundry and pick out the clothes that I'm going to be wearing to work this week. And then I'm gonna do my processing and my weekly review. I'm not going to be picky about what time I'm starting each task, but I am going to try to complete all of these tasks up to the weekly review by 3:30 so that I have half an hour to complete the weekly review and processing. So I'll be working on my Sunday afternoon routine from now until 4 o'clock. And then, as I said before, my mom is getting here at 4 today. And I don't know what time she's going to be leaving at, so I didn't put an exact time. But I want to work on my batch tasks, which the author recommends scheduling into the end of your day. And these are similar tasks that you can easily complete all at the same time. So for example, I'm going to download and convert footage. I'm going to try to get some editing done, check my email, and hopefully start designing that free printable. You'll see me check things off as I go, but I don't check off one thing at a time. I just check off about 2 to 3 related tasks at a time, just to save time from having to walk over to my planner over and over again. And then after my batch tasks are done, I'll start my evening routine. So now I'm gonna get started on my Sunday afternoon routine, and then I'll check back in with you when I'm done.
The way you look, the way you laugh, and how you move, it kinda makes me go crazy. But we should take it slow, work things out so you don't let me go. When I come real close, I don't wanna get hurt, 'cause I'm not ready to give you my heart yet. Before I'm too invested, I should probably ask.
It's about 3:30 p.m., so I'm going to start my processing and my weekly review. There are 2 things to process, your inbox and your capture tool. When you process your inbox, you take the top piece of paper and then you work your way down. Right now, I just have this ad in here, and I want to look at it to make a decision about if we want to purchase any of these items. Because that is going to take less than 2 minutes to do, I'm going to get it done right now. I decided that we want to buy mulch that is on sale, so I'm going to add to what the author of ZTD calls a master to-do list, and what I call my monthly list, that I need to buy mulch at Lowe's on Saturday, May 29th. Now that it is processed, it can go in the trash. So while I was at Lowe's this morning, I came up with an idea that I wanted to find a rock to use for our backyard landscape project. So I wrote that down here in my capture notebook while I was at the store. So now I'm going to add find rock to use for a landscaping project to my monthly list, and I'm going to cross this off in my capture tool. I'm not going to throw this piece of paper away until it is full because I don't want to waste paper. Before we get started on the weekly review, I want to mention that I had already decorated the spread on a previous day because I knew I wasn't going to have time to decorate it today, And when I did decorate it, I created different time blocks. The way I am dividing up my planner at the moment, I have the morning routine at the top, then a block of time for my 3 MITs, then work, then my after work routine, my batch tasks, and then my evening routine. To begin the weekly review, I'm going to start by reading my single yearly goal, which is to complete the P90X program. As part of step 1, before you decide on your short-term goal, you want to review whether or not you achieved last week's goal. If you didn't achieve it, either write down the same goal again or modify it if it needs to be more realistic. Last week's goal was to exercise every day. I unfortunately did not achieve that. And because I didn't achieve last week's goal of exercising every day, I'm going to choose a modified goal of exercising 5 days this week. Then I'm going to set what my big rocks are. Just a reminder, your big rocks are those high priority tasks that will help you to get closer to achieving your goals. The big rocks that I chose to go with are to complete 2 P90 cardio workouts, go on 1 hike, complete a total body works workout, and 1 P90 sculpt workout, and also track my calories and vitamins each day. So now I'm going to schedule in when I'm going to be working on these big rocks, about 1 to 2 per day at most. I'm also going to take this opportunity to label the time blocks that I had already drawn out onto each planner page when I had decorated it. Now I'm going to look in the last week of my planner and migrate anything that didn't get done forward, and for me that would be tasks from Sunday today, because it's part of my evening routine to check if any tasks didn't get completed that day and then to migrate them forward. So this was my last week, and as you can see, all of the items are checked off between Monday to Saturday with the exception of Sunday. Today I just have these batch tasks and weekly review and evening routine to get done, so I'm not going to worry about this now. But looking at my week at a glance, I see that there are some items that got either migrated forward or canceled, and those that got migrated forward will appear on this monthly list already because this is where I'm pulling those tasks from. So just as an example, I had set up new account. So this task is written right here, and I'm going to go ahead and migrate that forward to the current week. Also looking at this, under 5 big rocks, I had purchased plants, which happened this morning, so I can check that off, and spray labels, which also happened this morning and can be checked off. So that covers everything from here. Now it's time to review your lists. For me, I only look at my monthly list every single week. I also have an at-work list that I look at when I'm at work. And I have some at Someday Maybe lists that are broken up into YouTube, home, and house projects. But I only look at the Someday Maybe list when I'm setting up my monthly list. So I don't need to worry about that right now. I also don't need to look at the annual list because I only look at that when I'm setting up my monthly list. So I'm just going to go through each of these tasks and see if this is something that I can work on this week. Sand guest room walls and paint guest room. I'm going to add that here. And I'm not going to check it off. I'm just going to leave it here because if this isn't getting accomplished, then I need to transfer it to the next month. Spray paint labels for hallway. I did that this morning. On May 24th at 4 p.m. we have a shutter install. So I actually already wrote that down here. Make Lillian's card. I'm going to add that here. Purchase plants for backyard. I did that today so that I can check that off. On May 29th at 7:15, I have tickets to a drive-through showing. So I need to write that down on Saturday. And finally, look for landscaping rocks.
Like smoke.
Okay, so technically, if I complete everything that you see written on these pages, I will finish all of my monthly tasks for May that I wrote down on my monthly list. Now I'm just gonna fill in some more tasks, like when I need to reference my social media planner and some chores that I need to get done. So I tried to rank these by priority, where the highest priority tasks are written as an MIT, and then lower priority tasks are written kind of in like the batch task section.
I met a young man.
It's 3:55 p.m. My mom should be here soon. I finished my processing, my weekly review, so I should be ready to go for the week. So it's 8 o'clock. I'm in my workout clothes because my mom and I went on a walk, and I finished my batch tasks. However, I wasn't able to get to video editing or to working on designing that free printable, which is something that I really wanted to do because I know it's been such a long time since I've been able to give one away. So I'll try to work on that next weekend. Right now, I'm going to get started on my evening routine. I find that it really helps me to wind my mind down if I'm feeling particularly anxious that day, and because I have a presentation at work tomorrow, I want to make sure that I am well rested. I think what I learned today is about the importance of focusing on your priorities and making sure that you get those high priority tasks done first. Because if I had started out my day with, say, browsing Etsy for stickers, or I don't know, something that just wasn't a high priority, then I wouldn't have really gotten the things done that I did get done today. So that is something that I really appreciate about the ZTD system. It's also been motivating me to move closer towards achieving my goals, especially with the weekly review and just seeing my progress. And it's also helping me to become more in touch with what I am passionate about, which is habit number 10, find your passion. Do you ever procrastinate on things that you actually want to do? Probably not. We are most motivated to get things done when we are passionate about what we are doing. And that's why, although habit 10 is optional, it could actually increase your productivity. The author of ZTD is speaking about finding your passion in terms of a job, but I feel like this could be applied towards finding a hobby that you are really passionate about, or determining how you are going to spend your time in retirement. For me, it is this YouTube channel and getting to discuss organization and planning strategies with you, and working together with you as we both are working towards achieving the goals that we have for our lives. And when you tell me that a video inspired you or it helped you in some way, that is so meaningful to me, because that is exactly what I'm doing this for. Step 1 for finding your passion is to brainstorm by writing down a list, maybe on a sheet in your planner, answering the following questions. What do you enjoy doing? What comes easily to you? What do you most enjoy reading about? What do you lose track of time when you're doing because you get in the zone? During what times in your life did you experience the greatest joy? And what were you doing when that happened? So for me, some examples of this are planning, being in nature, doing paper crafts, playing games, designing, and doing home renovation projects. I really get excited about that. Step 2 is to research what it will take and what the obstacles will be to prepare yourself. Maybe you can talk to someone who has experience in this area. So figure out what skills you need to acquire, and maybe look into if there's a book you can read or a class that you can take that can help. Step 3 is to make an actual plan. What are the action steps you need to take in order to make this dream, this vision into a reality? Do you need to go back to school, for example? Step 4 is to take action by starting to work on those tasks that you wrote down in your plan, one at a time and a little bit each day. Step 5 is to practice by repeating over and over again, honing in those skills and putting in those hours. Step 6 is to try it out. He recommends, if this is a career that you want to pursue, trying it out as a side job first, kind of just to test the waters and make sure that this is something that you really want to do. Step 7 is don't give up. So no matter how many doors close for you, how many times it seems like it's going nowhere, keep pushing forward, be persistent until you achieve that goal. To summarize what we have learned about the ZTD system, Habit 1 taught us about capturing. We capture our thoughts and our ideas using a capture tool. I use a Happy Notes notebook, but you could use your phone or even a stack of index cards. It's really up to you. We capture things like paperwork and mail in a physical inbox, but we also use a digital inbox for our emails. For Habit 2, we learn to process. At the end of the day, we empty out our capture tool into our master to-do list. Or if it's an idea, then I add it to my idea notebook. And if you want to learn more about how that works, I'll leave the link to that video down below for you in the description. In order to process our inbox, we start at the top of the pile and we work our way down until it's completely empty. And we choose one of 5 different actions. So first, if it's something that we don't need, then we can just trash it. If someone else could complete it, we may consider delegating it to that person. If it is something that needs to be saved for a long-term reference, we file it. If it is something that will take less than 2 minutes to complete, then we do it, meaning that we complete that task associated with it. And if it takes longer than 2 minutes to complete, then we defer it, meaning that we add it to our master to-do list in our planners, and then we place any associated paperwork with that into our action folder. Habit 3 taught us to plan. We learned that at the beginning of the week, we choose about 4 to 6 big rocks, which are our highest priority tasks, often things that will help us move closer to achieving our goal. And then we decide which days during that week we're going to focus on completing those big rocks. After we schedule in the big rocks, we choose about 1 to 3 MITs to complete each day. And some of our MITs can be big rocks. We work on our MITs as soon as possible in the day to ensure that they get completed. Habit 4 is do. We focus on one task until it gets done, and we eliminate distractions as much as possible. If someone interrupts us, we write down what the request is in our notebook to complete later on, but then we get back on track with the task that we are working on. The 5th habit is called Simple Trusted System, but it's just referring to those context lists, like at work, at home, at computer, at calls, at someday maybe, etc. We keep our context lists in our planners so that we can easily find them. And we only review them when it is relevant, not necessarily every day, not necessarily every week. The only list that we do have to review every week is our master to-do list. And we review our planners daily to look at what the MITs are, our scheduled items are, and any batch tasks we may have. For the sixth habit, we learn to organize and that everything should have a place. We put things away immediately and don't allow them to pile up. And we also put all incoming paperwork and mail into our inbox for processing later that day. Habit number 7 is review. In addition to the monthly review and the yearly review, where we review the progress that we've made on our goals, but also set our yearly goal, we have something called weekly reviews. Once a week, we take 30 minutes to do the following. We read our single yearly goal and then we set a short-term goal for the upcoming week. We also plan, which is we first choose our big rocks, about 4 to 6 of them. We decide which days we're going to be working on those big rocks. We review our previous week and we transfer any incompleted tasks to the upcoming week. We also review our master to-do list and we choose some of those tasks to become some of the MITs for our week, or maybe some of the batch tasks. But you could do this each morning instead if you don't want to do that during your weekly review. For the 8th habit, we learn to simplify by minimizing the number of goals that we are working on, but also whittling down the amount of tasks that we're working on down to those that are the highest priority and those that are essential. Habit 9 is to set and keep routines. We learned about the importance of having morning and evening routines that we keep each day, as well as weekly routines for tasks that need to be done not every day, but multiple days per week, or maybe just once a week. If we plan our essentials into our routines and then we turn following those routines into habits that we are committed to, then we are ensuring that those essentials will get done. Finally, the find your passion habit. We actively seek activities that we are passionate about and see if we could potentially turn those activities into a career or a hobby or a life pursuit, so that we are excited each day to live out our lives to the fullest. For me, the takeaways of this system are: take the time to identify your life priorities and goals so you are really connected to what it is you are working towards and why you're putting all of this effort into this. Also, regularly updating your master to-do list with what you are capturing so that nothing ends up slipping through the cracks. And then for each day, choosing 1 to 3 actions that are your high priority tasks, or they are tasks that are going to help you move closer towards achieving your goal. I am not perfect at following this. I still have a lot of practicing to do. So I want to remind you to please be patient with yourself. These are habits that take time to develop. The author recommends taking at least 30 days to master each habit, but be okay with taking more time if that's what you need. I encourage you to modify what you've learned about this system to fit your individual needs. So I hope that this channel will help inspire you, but also give you the tools that you need in order to turn those dreams and those plans that you have for your life into reality. 72% of those who participated in a poll that I had posted said that they have stopped receiving notifications when I post a new video. If you would like to start receiving notifications after you confirm that you are subscribed, click on the bell icon and set it from personalized to all. It's very important that it is set to all. Or you can sign up for my mailing list if you would like me to send you an email each time I post a new video using the link that I've included down in the description. And I'll see you next Saturday. Bye!
So don't tell me how to act or how I should.